Today I'm going to make using the Photos library and the camera inside the SwiftUI app even more convenient. Now, if you haven't already done so, go ahead and check out the second link in the playlist, in the description, which is the playlist. And in the previous video, I have set up an image picker view that you can access through the full screen cover. When we are checking this is presented to true, when we are toggling this button. So it's kind of a messy thing, but it is flexible. But today I'm going to make it even more simpler. I'm going to create a custom view extension. So we are just going to eliminate all of this extra stuff, and it's just going to use a confirmation dialog. So we are actually going to create an image picker view modifier. So let me just scroll over here and add view modifier. There we go. And let's just name this image picker view modifier. Great. I'm going to remove the preview. We don't need that at this stage. And also the customization on the content. Okay, so what do we actually want to pass along this image picker view modifier? Well, we are going to present a confirmation dialog, and that will have two buttons. One, we are going to click on that when we want to access our photos library, and the second one is the one when we are going to tap when we want to access the camera. Okay, so, and also on the photos library and the camera too, by the way, should we allow editing when we are capturing these images? Okay, so for that, I'm going to create a struct over here called options, struct options, and it will have let photos library, and it will be of type string. So this is the actual label name on that confirmation dialog. Let's duplicate this with Command V, and then let's call this camera. And let's also duplicate this, rename it to a Boolean type, and allows editing. Okay, let's create a custom initializer so we don't have to add all the default values over and over again. So let's have an init, and then let me just move these onto new lines and give some default values. So this would be photos library, that's fine. Camera, oh, not over there, sorry, after the string. And then allows editing. Yeah, let's just set this to false. There we go. Okay, so that is our custom options. Now, next, we want to basically create kind of the same thing that we did in the previous video. So we have a full screen cover when we are presenting a photos library. The same goes for the camera. So for that, we need to, first of all, make sure that we are triggering some presentation outside of our view modifier. So for that, we need a binding. So add binding var, and we are actually not going to present either or the photos library or the camera. We are going to present first the confirmation dialog. So that's why this binding is going to be called is confirmation dialog presented, and that will be of type bool. Okay, next up, we want to pass along the options. There we go. And if you take a look at the previous video, I always go with on cancel and on success. So that's why it's suggesting that. That's fine. And then let's make these variables because they are going to be changed so far. Let's see, on success. Yeah, that's what we actually need right over here. And once we got this is confirmation dialog presented, we actually want to trigger those full screen covers, which will not be triggered by this confirmation dialog, presented boolean, of course, but by some other private state variables at state private var, and let's just say is photos library presented, and by default it's set to false. Let me just duplicate this for the camera. So is camera presented. Okay, and that's also false. Now we can actually add those full screen covers right over here, you can see, onto our content. So let me just copy this out so I don't have to type all of that. Here we go, full screen cover, adding it over there. Now let's edit it, of course. So first of all, let's take care of the photos library. So we are going to bind it to the isPhotos library presented. Photos library is the source, allows editing. Well, we are going to grab that from the options dot allows editing. On the cancel, we're just going to go on cancel. On success, we are just going to go with on success and pass along the image. Now, because these two are the same completion handlers that we are using also in the image picker view, we can just go along and instead of all over this, we just say on cancel, we just pass along on cancel, and then on success, and we do need that parentheses. Okay, so that's our full screen cover for the photos library. Now it's time to create one for our camera. So I'm going to copy out this time this one, duplicate it, and then just go $ is camera presented. This would be a source of camera, allows editing on cancel and on success. Okay, so now whenever either of these is toggled, we are going to present the full photos library or the camera. Now it's time to create our confirmation dialog. So I'm just going to edit right over here. So confirmation dialog. This one with the title key is presented and action is just fine. We don't need anything for the title key. Is presented, $ is confirmation dialog presented, and then the action. So we will just have basically two buttons. Button with the title and action. The title for the first one will be our options.photos library. Remember, this is a string. And then the action will be is photos library presented.toggle. And then let me just copy this out and paste it in again for our camera. And then is camera presented is going to be toggled camera. There we go. Is camera presented. And that's it. Now all we need to do is create a custom view modifier. So an extension on the view. So extension view. There we go. And let's name this image pick and crop. Well, we're not cropping. Image picker. Let's just add in here is presented. There we go. That will be a binding of type bool. Remember, this binding is just presenting the confirmation dialog, which we are going to choose from, and then we are going to present our image picker views. Okay. Next up is the options. So options, which will be of type options. Yeah, it's from the image picker view modifier. So first of all, image picker view modifier dot options, and let's have its default value. So we're just going to initialize that, and then finally the on cancel. Let me just have these on separate lines so we can see it a little bit better. There we go, comma, and then on cancel. That will be of a discompletion of a void. And then finally on success. And that will have a UI image and void. Okay, so also this is going to return some view. Let's not forget about that. This is a view modifier. So now I can just go modifier and just pass along the image picker view modifier, this one, and just have everything is confirmation dialog presented. Just going to go is presented. Options are the options. On cancel, that's the one, and then on success. No, sorry, on success. What's going on? Is that everything okay? Let me just see what's going on right over here. So on cancel is oh yeah, so we need to add in at escaping right over here. At escaping with a small e, and also on the on success. There we go. Now all of these two errors should go away. So now I can just use the image picker all the way up over here. So we're not just going to use the photos library, we are going to get the chance to choose from one. So dot image picker, yeah, let's just choose the simplest one. So is presented, on cancel, and on success. $sign is presented, on cancel. I'm just going to print out canceled. We have an image right over here, and then self image equals image, which will basically just show this image view. Okay, let's finally build and run, and you can see that it's much easier, and we get to choose either from the camera or the photos library. Let's see this. In the simulator, we are not going to actually use the camera because, you know, the simulator does not have it. Make sure that you test this out on your own and check out the camera. And make sure that you also added in the info plist file the camera usage description. I covered this in the previous episode also. It's the second link in the description. And by the way, if you want me to build out your business apps just like these, go ahead and check out the first link in the description. Let's talk on a private call. Okay, so let's pick an image. There we go. We have to choose between photos library and camera. Let's choose photos library. I'm just going to pop that up. There we go. And then, yeah, I'm not signed in, but you can just choose any of the images or just cancel out. I'm just going to cancel out for now, and the image will be actually populated right over here. Go ahead and check out the previous video where I actually just choose an image and it's just going to populate it right over here. The actual underlying view that's doing all of this stuff is the image picker view, which is part of the previous episode. And if you did like these types of tutorials, go ahead and subscribe to the channel.